This is John Ward, welcoming you to another presentation of Tennessee football on home video. The story you're about to see unfold is one of adventure and achievement. It's the story of teamwork, commitment, and the will to win.
Doesn't need a lot of... Oh! He took a weapon!
Welcome back to the Blue Chip Breakdown, Vols fans, and if you're new to the channel, welcome. Today we are looking at Larry Johnson III. He is our JUCO transfer from Hutchinson, Kansas. He is 6'7", 365 pounds. He's listed as a tackle, but I believe that he could also play guard. He played in a really good league. There are several NFL players that come out of this league. So he's pretty much like a transfer. What we're going to do is we're going to take a look at his championship game in the JUCO league, because I think that'll give us the best gauge of the competition that he's facing. So let's go ahead and get straight into the highlights. All right, guys. So I'm sure that some of y'all probably wondering why I didn't pull up his Pro Football Focus, but Pro Football Focus doesn't cover the league that he's coming from. So I wanted to highlight what they showed from the game. These are just some of the more recent players that came from his league. Obviously, he's playing against really good competition. So he's playing right tackle for his team, and you'll see right here, he does a good job. I mean, he's big, he moves well, and he just has to work on keeping his balance. His center of gravity tends to get thrown off some. I think that what they're really going to want to do with him, if he's going to be playing tackle, is just get his body right. So he's going to be doing a lot of core movements for sure, just to kind of start off. Okay, so you can see it right there. He ducks his head, and that's just something that he's going to have to work on. That's just going to come from coaching. It's going to come from getting inside of that weight room. I think that he could stand to lose 15 or so pounds, especially in the midsection area, maybe add a little bit more strength, and he's going to be extremely dominant. Now, keep in mind on this film, he is playing, this is for the national championship. So he's playing against the best team in their league, and this team is really good. But you see that he does a good job once he gets his hands on people, and once he gets his body on people, it's, they're pretty much going to go where he wants them to. Now take a look at him here pulling. I mean, for him to be such a huge man, he moves beautifully. He really moves well. So he does a good job with his kick steps. Look at that. That's a really nice base. Gets his hands on this end. You would like to see him get his hands on him just a little bit faster. You like to see him be able to anchor down, get a nice solid punch. That'll help keep him from kind of getting bent around sometimes, because he's such a big, strong, powerful guy. It's just small technique things. And so I can't wait for Coach E to get his hands on him. Like, see, you can see right there, he's trying to use his body more than he's using his arms and his hands. And what you would like to see him do is step, get his feet into the ground and punch with a straight bench press and shock these guys, and then use those big paws to be able to hold on. That's a little bit more of what you want. Everything else looks really good. I mean, his base is good. He moves his feet pretty well. He just, he doesn't, like, watch. If you look at this here, I mean, he didn't have to move his feet much there. But if he just would have, instead of using his body so much and use his arms, use his hands, he would have been able to stop that a lot more than he did. So on this one here, he just was laid off of the snap. Now that's a good job there. So you see he picks up this stunt, this end kind of crashes in. He does a good job getting the chip on him, and then he moves and gets that tackle that's coming around the edge pretty smoothly. Right here, this is a run formation. I mean, you see he's moving bodies. He's huge, and I mean, look at that. See there, you see him. He got into that tackle. He barely even moved his arm, but that tackle moved, 2 or 3 yards. So, look, that's beautiful. That was good to start off with. He just has to maintain it. Got to, get that bend, maybe get his butt down just a taste. Keep his head up. Good job here. Holds on to that guy. You see that nastiness. I like that. You want to look, holds on to him, gets those big bear paws on him. Good job stepping inside, but see, he kind of gets pushed off balance just a taste. And I think that that's just from him maybe having a little bit too much weight on his frame. But that's a nice kick step. Again, he picks up that stunt pretty good. Does a good job holding up right here. And then he gets in. He's able to hold that end up. Good job here of maintaining the inside. You would like to see him throw his hips forward just a little bit more there to stop that. Now, watch what he does here. This is nice. All right, so he gets a chip on that end, and then he comes up the field, gets to the second level. Pretty nice, pretty smoothly. You just like to see him throw a little bit more than that shoulder on that block. Now right here, look at that. That's a much better job. He stonewalls a guy. Does a good job getting a good little press on him. Here he's blocking down. I mean, you can tell that he moves very, very well. Let's see what he does here. Good job of getting to the outside. That's an outside zone play. Does a good job of sealing up that edge. Great job there moving his feet. Here, pretty good job. Like I said, once that punch comes, that end won't be as close to the quarterback. He literally was just blocking him with his body. You know, and then here what you want to see, I think we'll see it again. What you want to see here is him anchored down a lot more. So I know he's trying to get depth, but he's so strong and so powerful. He could have pushed this guy. This is a double team. You could have pushed him, stopped him a lot more, slowed him down a lot more. So he's definitely capable of doing that. That's much better. He comes back with an attitude on his next play. He's holding on to his guy. You know, he just has to kind of work on, because he's so tall, obviously he has to use those long arms to keep people from being able to get into his body and throwing him off balance. So Coach E will definitely get that cleaned up. He's already been on campus, so I'm sure he's got a lot of good work in. It's already come a long way. And I'm just kind of talking over. We're seeing a lot of the same stuff. That right there was really nice. So protects his inside here, does a good job protecting. And then that was another stunt. This team that they're playing against likes to stunt a lot, but he does a good job of picking that up. So this was definitely going to be one of the more difficult games for him to block because of the way that they like to run all these stunts. You'll see in some of his, like if you look at his actual highlights from his freshman season, you'll see him dominating a ton. But I wanted to just look and see what the most recent film was and the best team that they play against. Good job here of helping out and then getting to the second level. Like I said, he moves very well, and that's a huge guy. You have to think about him losing about 15 pounds or so and being even faster than he is now and probably being even stronger. And I think he's going to be very, very dominant. Really nice job there of keeping his feet moving and sticking with that play. That sack didn't have anything to do with his guy. Good job here. This guy tries to start a step, and you'll see him, nice kick step, does a great job of getting depth, and then he closes it up, does a good job of stonewalling 55, that D end. Here, this is another, looks like that was kind of like an outside zone scheme on the right side here. And here you can see, you know, he gets his hands on the guy and gets him out of the way. I mean, look at that. He moves very well. 350 pounds, 6'7", 350 pounds. And I mean, he looks very agile for that size. Good job here. Stonewalls that. Keeps the quarterback's pocket clean, does the same thing there. Okay, pretty good job. So see, he's so used to being able to just stop people with his size. And there isn't a lot of just that extra little bit of technique. And I'm telling you, once he gets that coaching, he's going to be a completely different player. So look, he moves so fast. He moves so well for his size. Look, I mean, he protects that inside, gets a good hand on him, but he just has to stick with it. I think that the first part of his pass protection is really good. He just needs to work on that second half. And obviously in this game, you know, they end up getting beat, I think 31-7 or something like that. So they're passing on most of these plays. It's tough on an offensive lineman when the defense is hunting on every single play and you don't get to go hunt them So you had to give him some leeway there for that. Good job of holding up on that stunt. That tackle tried to come outside, does a good job. He was able to hold him with just his left arm. I mean, look, he moves well. He's, like I said, I think that he's just so used to being bigger and stronger than everybody. His technique overall has kind of taken a little bit of a hit because of that, but he's got really good footwork. He's got a really big body. And, he just needs to work on his hand placement, and he just needs to work on his punch. So look at that. That was beautiful right there. When he gets to throw his hips forward, I mean, he creates so much space, and he's able to move bodies so much easier just with something that small. That small of a thing can make a huge difference for Larry Johnson. So that's his film in the National Championship game. So like I said, it just looks like there's a couple of things that he needs to clean up. He may end up possibly starting off at guard. Now, I think that he could possibly start this season playing guard. If he wants to play tackle, he still just has a little bit more to learn about how to play, especially when he's coming into the SEC. Granted, he did play in a league where there were a lot of really good guys. There's a lot of guys that come out of that league every single year that make it to the NFL. They've got a ton of guys that are going to end up being in the Hall of Fame coming out of that league. So he just has to work on, like I said, that second half of his pass blocking. We didn't get to see much of his run blocking in this film, like I was saying earlier, but he's an absolute mauler. He's nasty, he's big, he's mean, moves well. So he's definitely going to help us out tremendously moving forward. So thank y'all for tuning into this video. And as always, guys, please leave me a like. Please hit that bell. Thank y'all for being part of this channel. I'll see y'all on the next one. Peace.